Hey YouTube, Aiden here. Reminder, if you want to listen with me, check the link in the description. Otherwise, let's talk about contrabass trombones, plural, because I have two here today. I've had two for a while, but let's get them in the same video. I feel like I see a lot of misconceptions about the contrabass, usually from younger players who just kind of see the long, loud, low instrument and they're like, wow, that's awesome, I want one. And they don't really understand where it gets played and kind of more importantly where it doesn't get played, or the differences between an F contrabass and a B flat contrabass. So let's delve into that a little bit. Contrabass, trombone, is a rare instrument. It is not a common instrument. It is not used in a lot of places by a lot of people. There are plenty of bass trombone players, really amazing ones, who will never play contra in their entire life. Never have the call for it. Who was it? Oh, Martin Skippers at the Lace Trombone Festival. No, it was at the Dutch Bass Trombone Open. He picked up someone's Lace contrabass and he was like, I've never played contra before. And this is the person who is the bass trombonist of the Concertgebouw Symphony Orchestra, which is like one of the best orchestras in the world. And he has never played a contrabass. Not in the orchestra, but not even outside of that. He'd never played a contrabass trombone. And this is a bass trombone player in Europe, where contrabass is much more common than it is in the United States. There are plenty of American bass trombonists who have never played bass trombone and never will play bass trombone, even in a professional symphony career. So where does it get used? Primarily in opera, and then after that, kind of almost equally orchestra. And then after that, a much smaller subsect, studio work, especially here in Los Angeles, where it gets used in a lot of movies. Other places where they record things, etc. Outside of that, kind of not a lot. Maybe the bottom part in a trombone choir, maybe the bottom part in a trombone quintet or something. Just not a lot of really viable uses for the contrabass trombone. There's always being more kind of made up as we go, but still not a common instrument. Not a lot of people have them. Not a lot of people know how to play them. So that's contrabass in a nutshell. Let's talk about the differences between the instruments, as rare as they are. I happen to have two with me. The first instrument, and the first one that I think we can say existed, thank you computer for turning off, is the B-flat contrabass trombone, kind of envisioned by Wagner for his works, where he wanted contrabass trombone as a lower part to his four-part trombone parts in his orchestral works. He wanted a contrabass trombone to kind of fill out the sound, bridge to the tuba, whatever you want to think of it as. And so he called up some people and had the B-flat contrabass trombone made. Of course, this is not one of them. This is a Miraphone, designed after the Cons at the turn of the century, of the last century, 1900 or so. These instruments exist. They are contrabass trombones. However, they are not easy to play. That's the reason we don't really see them now, as you will hear. Sorry, super sharp on that the first time. Now let's get a little bit of the upper register. So, I'm not going to say I'm really good at this, but I'm also not one of the worst B-flat contrabass trombone players out there. And it is so hard to get around this instrument. These slots are just super wide, but only have one little spot where it actually sounds good at all, or where you can attack. Otherwise, you get the awesome split attacks. You guys all know that sound. is the easiest thing in the world to do on this instrument, especially above B flat and the staff, which is the high range of this instrument. Down low, this has a really commanding sound. If you can attack it properly, of course. It's a crazy big sound, but that's literally the only range where I would actually want to play this. And even then, I don't want to play it because this is a huge, cumbersome instrument. It's actually more well balanced than my F contrabass, but not more well balanced than a modern F contrabass. There's a reason we don't see the B flat, and that's a couple. I mean, it's hard to play. The slide is doubled over, so it's really heavy. It's really hard to be accurate because all your positions are doubled. There's no low C or B with this instrument. It stops at B flat or D flat because it's like a single valve bass trombone, and this doesn't have enough pull to get out to an E pull. It would have to be, you know, like this long to get to E pull. It's just not very useful. It's cool in that you can play the loudest, craziest, biggest sounding low D flats of all time. Other than that, B flat contrabass is not a great instrument. And this, of course, is one of the best B flat contras that you can buy. There are other ones with 2 valves. There's C contras as well, in the same general design. I'm kind of lumping them all into the same category of contras that don't get played very often. And then we have the more modern, and I'm actually not sure if this, stop doing things. I'm not sure if this particular instrument is actually more modern than that particular instrument, but the F contrabass is just a little bit more modern than the B flat. B flat contrabass obviously is doubled over in the bell section and the slide section. It is 16 feet long without the valve put down. F contrabass is not doubled over. This one is because it's an opera model. It's short at the back, but it is 12 feet long with no valves down because it's in F. Playing it is just like having the F valve down on your bass trombone. The upper register, not easy, but so much easier, much more trombone-like, much more bass trombone-like than the B-flat contra. The low range still sounds big. It sounds like a contra. Doesn't have a small bass trombone sound, small, quote-unquote. Doesn't have the giant B-flat sound, but it has all the notes that the B-flat contra does not. So I can play all the same crazy low things, including low D flats, with a nice big sound, but it's so much easier, it's more air efficient, it's lighter, the slide is better because it's not doubled over. This is what we use in the modern world. This is a German instrument, it's a Voigt, I think, an opera model. Like I said, it's been doubled over at the back, so it's shorter. Normal ones will extend a lot more. Opera model meaning if you're in an opera pit, it's not going to hit the wall behind you because you're sitting in the back. And this is from like the 60s, so it is an older instrument, but still kind of holds up to the modern contras of the day. So there we go. That's the differences between F and B flat contras. Hopefully you guys understand a little bit more of where they're played, where they're not. As an LA freelancer, I've owned this for more than a year now, I think. I've gotten a lot better at it, and I've never been paid to play it. I practice it a lot. I've played it with friends for fun, never been paid to play it. So if you're thinking about getting a contrabass trombone, basically you're either a top orchestra player, top opera player, or you're in LA and you're way better than me and you're playing in the studios. Otherwise, I gotta say, it's kind of not worth the money. I got mine for pretty cheap, but a good German contrabass trombone from Tyne or Leish, which are kind of the best possible contras, around $16,000. And if you're not going to make that money back in 2 or 3 seasons of opera or orchestra, just not really worth it. So hopefully you guys understand more. Practice normal trombones, and you'll get a lot more gigs. And I'll see you guys next time.